You woke up this morning not knowing that the world had fundamentally changed and there was no going back. The delightful M&M mascot characters are being ruined by the damn libs. M&M has announced that their characters are gonna become, in the words of this PR stuff, more inclusive. And you will hear the word inclusive used a lot. And I get that now is a word that really gets people on edge and ready to fight. I don't see what any of this really has to do with inclusivity. Everybody's like, this is a woke thing. It doesn't seem like it has much to do with that. But what are the changes? Well, Mars Inc. says that the anthropomorphized candy characters will have more nuanced personalities. So you can see a shot of what they're gonna look like now. If we wanna go to this. New personalities and backstories. First of all, the picture looks like identical, but let's see, the acknowledgement that their consumers value inclusion and belonging more than ever. So green will embrace confidence and a new pair of kicks, like Converse basically. Red is gonna tone down the bossiness. Orange will acknowledge his anxiety and more. There's a few more aspects of this that are slightly controversial, Brett. But first of all, what do you think about the change to these characters?
This is a segment called "You're Not Helping."
Me?
No, the people that like, what are we doing? Like, it's just like stupid people trying to help, right? And I can't begrudge them trying to help. I can call them stupid. Like, you don't need it actually is more useful from a storytelling perspective to have kind of a jerk. So tone down the bossiness of the red one. Like, you need a jerk as the jerk to show what jerks do when faced with these kinds of things. Like All in the Family, you need it. Like, it did a lot to move the needle on raising awareness about how jerks are being jerks by having that character get exposed as a jerk with Sammy Davis Jr. on national television. Like,
that's the movie, The Jerk, for instance. Yeah, no, you're right. And also it makes the other ones stand out more by comparison. Like I have a reputation of being a nice guy, but no day does that seem more obvious than on Fridays because of the juxtaposition with Brett. Like, you need those characters. We're not gonna tone down Brett. You shouldn't tone down Red. Anyway, there's some more changes that they're making. The female M&Ms are gonna wear subtler makeup. I never knew that they were wearing makeup. I guess they had dramatic lashes. The two female characters will also have a more friendly relationship instead of the catty one they've displayed in ads. And they are now, quote, and this is a quote, they're saying this, I'm not saying this, throwing shine and not shade. The red M&M will be nicer to the rest of the gang, and the orange will embrace his true self, worries and all. I don't mind that one as much. The M&M names will be less gendered as well, as Mars is forgoing prefixes like Miss and Mr. to focus on their personalities rather than their gender. So none of this, I know Ben Shapiro right now is in the middle of a rant about how all the M&Ms are trans or something now, or asexual. It's not about that. This is all personality stuff. And yes, it's weird, but it can be weird in the way that it actually is, rather than whatever it is that by the end of the day will be the conversation around this. Can I go to one response to this?
Yes, please.
There's a couple actually. Neil Bad Bitch Harris says, instead of making the green M&M less sexy, they should have made them all sluttier. Jesus, because the Converse instead of heels. Let's jump ahead to this article. Let the green M&M be a nasty little slut. That was on Rolling Stone. Nobody woke up expecting this news cycle.
It's so funny. It's so funny. This is hilarious. It's like, you know what we need? Like this. We need this here at M&Ms. What are we doing? And as I said earlier, like, sounds like you're trying to help. Good. You know, and it is the job of people being marketed to respond with how that marketing feels. You know?
Yeah.
And when they say it, I love the nasty.
Hold on,
I'm glad there's no Republicans, right wingers out there going like, all right, what's with these non-binary characters? Also, where are their penises?
Exactly. But also like they're gonna. So there's all these jokes about the green not being as sexy or whatever. But like right now, I'm sure on Newsmax, one of the Republicans is like, I used to be turned on every time I saw that green M&M. Now I've got nothing happening down there. I'm getting nothing.
That's it. It's like this all started when someone's like, I want to be in that M&M. I want to be inside of that M&M. I want to melt in her mouth. Like it's like someone couldn't help but just be like, well, what do I do with this erection that I have eating M&Ms? Why is that happening? So stupid. It's like also like, I hate to break it to you, M&M, you're doing a good job already. You got all kinds of colors. You got variety in your flavors. You got one with peanut butter in it. You got one with chocolate in it. You got one with a whole peanut. You got the pretzel. You're doing great, guys.
Yeah, you're fine. Everybody has to see, as we were talking about our pre-show, before any movie, you will see an ad of a M&M about to be exploded or whatever. Like, and that's my final point is, I know a lot of people are gonna be like, why are you guys participating in this? They only did this thing because they knew it'd be controversial and people lose their minds and people talk about M&M, which is totally true, I'm sure. And yes, we are being a part of that. But have we not reached a point with some brands where they don't need to do that? Who doesn't know about M&Ms? Who isn't constantly aware that M&Ms exist? If you want to give someone money and then put them in your mouth, you can. I feel like we all know that at this point. Nobody's like, well, I used to eat M&Ms, but now they're boring. Maybe I'm a weird consumer. I don't know. I don't get it.
Do you ever keep an M&M in your mouth until it melts? Because that candy shell is just like the most underrated flavor in all of candy.
Maybe.
Do other people do that until it gets like so soft that you can break it with your tongue?
That is a rare treat. I recently, before Christmas, bought a big bag of Werther's Originals. And the true challenge of discipline is to get all the way through one without biting it. Someday, I hope to be able to meet that challenge. Anyway, you know what's Werther's Originals have like sort of an aura of being like for your grandpa. Now is the exact time to make Werther's Originals as slutty as they can be. I think they need a mascot. That's what this news should be about.
Brandon just keeps going.
It's the most ridiculous headline we've ever seen. And by the way, the author of the article is a woman. Not that it should matter, but it is a woman. Anyway. With that,
why don't green? Green makes you. The whole thing was the green M&M makes you horny. Remember that? You're like, I'm 9. Green makes you horny. Have a taste.
I don't remember that. Isn't that the first color that Angela on The Office says is kind of whorish? Is green?
Yeah,
I think it might be.
Check out the Damage Report podcast each day, wherever you get your podcasts, whether Pocket Casts or Stitcher or iTunes. You can join me as I give you the news and stories you want, with a range of co-hosts and interview guests jumping in on the fun each day. Again, that's the Damage Report, wherever you get your podcasts. And if you get them at iTunes, don't forget to rate and review. Sometimes I'll read them live on the show.